This is a recap for Friday, December 10th. We've got a little background music for you today if you happen to be listening. What we worked on in class today was some more challenging two-step equations where we had a coefficient that is a fraction. And fortunately, we've worked with inverses and reciprocals, multiplicative inverses, and so we made a connection. That if we take, first of all, if we're going to solve this one, we have to add 6 to both sides. Create that 0. Now we have 1/3 times x equals 11. So what we did earlier in the year is talked about 1/3 times 3/1, and that's equal to 3/3, which equals 1. Those are called multiplicative inverses or reciprocals. So, for example, 2/3, the reciprocal is 3/2. Or 2/9, the reciprocal is 9/2. Because when we multiply these together, we get 1. So that's good news because we want a 1. We want 1x. So we're going to multiply times 3/1 on both sides of this equation. And this all turns into 1. So that's just 1x equals 33 in this case. So let's try this one. We're going to add 7 to both sides. And so that creates a 0 right there. So we have 1/2 x equals 10. So now we're going to use the multiplicative inverse, 2/1. Multiply this times 2/1, and we get 20. So x is equal to 20. So let's try this next one. We're going to subtract 2 from both sides, and we get 2/5 x equals 6, and then multiply by the multiplicative inverse, which is 5/2. So we multiply this times 5/2, and this is equal to 1. This, from back when we were simplifying fractions, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 6 3 times. So 3 times 5 is 15. Let's do one more. Let's subtract 5 from both sides of the equation. So we've got 12 equals 2/3 x. We're going to multiply by the multiplicative inverse. And that's going to create a 1 over there. 3/2 here. This is equal to x. And this is 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 12 6 times, so 6 times 3 is 18. Another thing that we did in class today was we worked on, let's get there, we worked on algebraic expressions. The Desmos called algebraic expressions. And the sum of 9 and c is we add them together, so that's d. These got put in some strange order, so be careful about that. 35 less the product of 4 and x, that one is 35 less the product of 4 and x, that one is d. This is the product of 12 and x, that is c. This one is 4 to the 5th power, that's b. This one is 5 times x squared plus 2. That answer is D. This one is x cubed times y to the 5th power. That answer is A. This one is 4 times a to the 6th power. And on this one, we want to do take 3 3 3/5 and change that to an improper fraction, which is 18/5, and divide it by 2/5, and then subtract 0.4 squared. So 18/5 divided by 2/5 is 18/5 times 5/2. Those cancel to 1. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So this is going to be 9 minus 0.4 squared. 0.4 times 0.4, 0.16. So we take 0.16 away from 9, and we get 8.84. If we say this one out loud, 4/100ths, and then we simplify it, it simplifies to 1/25. That's B. This one we're going to do 8 minus 4 first. That's 4. We're going to multiply that times 3, and then take that amount away from 54. So 54 minus 12 is 42. That answer is B. And then evaluate each expression when x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 8. I'll just do one example for you. This one right here, y is 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, so I'm going to look for this 6 and line them up like that. So that's how you do that one. And this one you're going to want to put them in order from least to greatest. So I'll save that for another answer key maybe on Monday. And that is a recap for Friday, December 10th.